Welcome to our channel Medico's Learning Decks. Here we will discuss easy mnemonics, high yield topics and integrated revision of topics related to medicine. So let's start. So today we will be discussing the topic of acid-base disorders. First we will clear the concepts regarding this and then we will learn easy tricks to solve the questions easily. Okay, so let's start. In acid-base disorders, we will find the disorder in 3 steps. First, we will assess the pH, then we will assess the PCO2, and then we will assess the bicarbonate level. We will go in these 3 steps. Now, normal pH is 7.35 to 7.45. If it is less, that is less than 7.35, then we call it this as acidosis. And if it is more, that is more than 7.45, then we call this as alkalosis. Next, we will assess the PaCO2. Normal PaCO2 is 35 to 45 millimeter of Hg. If the pH and PaCO2 are in opposite direction, that is, if pH is decreasing and PCO2 is increasing, then we call this is in the opposite direction, then the cause is respiratory. And if they are in the same direction, that is pH is also decreasing and PaCO2 is also decreasing, then they are in the same direction, then we find that the cause is metabolic, that is metabolic alkalosis. Now lastly we will assess the bicarbonate level. Normal bicarbonate level is 22 to 26 millimole per liter. Now if pH and HCO3 are in the same direction, then we call this as metabolic, and if they are in the opposite direction, then we call this as respiratory. Now if the problem is metabolic acidosis, we suppose, then there will be compensation. Then the compensation will occur, that is respiratory alkalosis. Now if the disorder is respiratory, that is if respiratory acidosis, then the compensation will occur, body will compensate it by causing a metabolic alkalosis. Now next we will see how this compensation works. Okay, so in respiratory acidosis there will be increase in PCO2. Now if this increase in PCO2 is by 10 millimeter of Hg, that is from normal 45 millimeter Hg, this, if this increases by 10, that means it becomes 55, we suppose. If PCO2 becomes 55, then the compensation will happen is increase in HCO3 level. Increase in HCO3 level means that is metabolic alkalosis is happening to compensate this respiratory acidosis. Okay, so now if this increases by 10 millimeter of Hg, this increases by 10 millimeter of Hg, then HCO3 will increase by 4 milli equivalent per liter in chronic conditions, in chronic underlying conditions like COPD. And if the cause is acute, then the compensation will occur by 1 milli equivalent per liter. So the compensation is different for chronic cases and for acute cases. Okay, now this is for respiratory acidosis. Now in respiratory alkalosis there is decrease in PCO2. Now if this decrease in PCO2 is by 10 millimeter of Hg, then there will be decrease in HCO3. Why? In respiratory alkalosis is happening, so there will be metabolic acidosis. Okay, so here the HCO3 will decrease. Now in chronic conditions, here also same. In chronic conditions, HCO3 will decrease by 4 milliequivalent per liter, and in acute condition the HCO3 will decrease by 2 milliequivalent per liter. Here it was 1 milliequivalent per liter in acute, and here this is 2 milliequivalent per liter in acute conditions. Okay, now if metabolic acidosis is happening, metabolic acidosis, so the compensation will occur by respiratory alkalosis. This will be the compensation. So if the decrease in HCO3 is by 1 millimole per liter, then the decrease in PCO2 will be by 1.2 millimeter Hg. The exact formula is this, but this is the gross, like you can remember this as the gross, and the exact formula is this one. This is exact formula is HCO3 level into 1.5 plus 8 plus minus 2. This is the exact formula, that is this the number that comes, this will be the decrease in PCO2 exact value, and if you go by gross, that is 1 millimole, and here 1.2 millimeter Hg. Okay, now this is the compensation part. Now here we come to a now let's see what is anion gap. Okay, now let's see first a problem. Let's see a problem first. Okay, here it is given that the pH value is 7.4. okay, HCO3 value is 24. Now as we see, this pH is showing 7.4, that means it is normal, right? But here we have to see the sodium level and the chloride level. Here we will see the sodium level, the chloride level, and the bicarbonate level. Now we for this we have to find that what is anion gap. Now here options will be given that this is no acid base abnormality or high anion gap metabolic acidosis with a component of metabolic alkalosis. By seeing firstly only the pH, we can say we can jump to the conclusion that there is no acid base abnormality, but no, first for this we have to find the anion gap. Now let's see what's anion gap. Anion gap refers to those anions which are actually present but not determined routinely, that is sulfate, phosphate, and plasma protein anions. This is calculated in the anion gap. Okay, so now let's see the normal anion gap level. Okay, normal anion gap is 8 to 16 milliequivalent per liter. Now how to calculate this anion gap? Anion gap is calculated by sodium level minus the chloride level plus HCO3, that is bicarbonate plus chloride. This total is subtracted from the sodium level. Now let's see in the problem. The sodium level was 145, right? Here we write 145. Now we see the chloride and the bicarbonate level. This comes to 124. Now we calculate it, it comes to be 21. Now normal anion gap was 8 to 16. Now this is a high anion gap. Now high anion gap indicates that there is metabolic acidosis. Now here we see a high anion gap that indicates some metabolic acidosis, but the HCO3 level is normal, but the HCO3 level is normal. Why? The HCO3 level was 24, that falls under the normal category. So here, if metabolic acidosis is there but still the bicarbonate level is normal, that indicates that there is metabolic alkalosis also. Now this metabolic acidosis with metabolic alkalosis, this is a high anion gap metabolic acidosis with metabolic alkalosis. This can be confirmed by delta gap. We can determine this by delta gap. What is delta gap? Actual anion gap minus the normal anion gap whole minus this actual bicarbonate level minus normal bicarbonate level. Now in the given problem, the actual anion gap was 21 and the normal anion gap is 12. The actual bicarbonate level was 24 and normal is also 24. So here we get a delta gap of 9. Now if delta gap is positive, that is significantly positive, that is more than plus 6, then it indicates that metabolic alkalosis is also present. And if it is negative, that is less than 6, then it indicates hyperchloremic acidosis is present, not a metabolic alkalosis component. Now here we have got these concepts. Now we will try to solve 2 to 3 questions. Okay. ABG of a patient reveals the following values. PCO2 is 16 millimeter Hg, bicarbonate level is 6 milli equivalent and pH is 7.1. Now what are the steps? First we will assess the pH. Okay, first we will assess the pH, then the PCO2, and then we will calculate the bicarbonate level. Okay, now let's see. pH is 7.1, that means it is decreased, that means it shows a acidosis. Okay, now PCO2 is 16 millimeter Hg, that means this is also decreased. Now if pH and PCO2, what I told, if pH and PCO2 goes in the same direction, that is both are decreasing, that means it is a metabolic disorder, that is it is metabolic acidosis. Now here, as the HCO3 level is 6, that means we can confirm that this is acidosis, that is HCO3 has also decreased and pH also decreased, that means they are in the same direction, so it is a metabolic acidosis. Now here the PCO2 is also decreased, that means it shows that there is compensation by PCO2 decrease. Okay, so now this is metabolic acidosis with compensation, that is compensation has been done by acidosis, right? Alkalosis. PCO2 has decreased, that means the compensation is respiratory alkalosis. As PCO2 has decreased, this will be alkalosis, so this is respiratory alkalosis as the compensation. Okay, now this problem is done. The next problem, the arterial blood gas analysis of a patient reveals pH of 7.55, PCO2 is 54 and bicarbonate is 40. Now pH is 7.55, that means it has increased, that means it indicates alkalosis. Now PCO2 level is 54, that means this also has increased. So what does this mean? PCO2 and pH in the same direction, that means it is metabolic. It is metabolic component. Now we will see what is the bicarbonate level. Bicarbonate level is 40. That means this also has increased, right? So this is metabolic alkalosis. This is confirmed by this metabolic alkalosis. Now here PCO2 is 54. That means this is going in the higher direction. That means there is respiratory acidosis also. Now here the diagnosis is, metabolic alkalosis with respiratory acidosis as the compensation. Clear? Now next question. The arterial blood gas findings of a patient are pH is 7.12, PCO2 is 50 and bicarbonate level is 28. So pH is 7.12. That means it has decreased. Now PCO2 is 50. That means it has increased. So now here we can say these are going in the opposite direction, right? So this is respiratory. What it is? Respiratory acidosis. Now here the bicarbonate level is 28. That means it has increased. That means this is a respiratory acidosis with compensation of metabolic alkalosis. As bicarbonate is increasing, that means it is a alkalosis. Then this respiratory acidosis and metabolic alkalosis occurs to compensate the underlying respiratory acidosis. So this is also clear. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching and revise them frequently to remember them better. Do like, share and subscribe to this channel to get more videos of this kind. Thank you.